How's it going, guys? It's Evan back here. Welcome back to the evilslaw channel, and today I just wanted to go over some of the video game pickups that I have accrued over the last, I think it's been 2 months since my last pickups video. So there's a ton of games in this video. Stick around. I'm going to be talking a little bit about each of them. And really quick before I get into it, I want to ask you, what game are you playing this week, and what are you picking up? What are you looking to pick up? And without further ado, let's just get right into it. All right, so first here is a game for a console I don't own, and that is Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I remember when this game was coming out, and I always thought it was interesting, but I never picked it up. Apparently, it's okay. My friends say they like it, but, you know, one day I'll get to it. Obviously, I would like to swap this copy out with a PS3 copy. I do want to try and grab as many Resident Evil games as I can. I don't think I'm going to go for all of them. It seems like a tough task. Like, to get every port, like, I know there's one guy on YouTube who's trying to get every version of every Resident Evil game. Like, that is a tall order. That is a tall order. But I did pick this one up. It was like $1 at a thrift store. And yeah, maybe I can flip this for a PS3 copy or just wait until I get a 360 because that's probably a good idea to have one of those down the line. I think this was the same day I ended up getting this copy of Silent Hill 2 on PS2. At the time I didn't have a PS2, I now do. This is a fantastic game. One of the best games ever made in my opinion. I played the remake and I played this game. It's excellent. All the way through, 100%, recommend, 10 out of 10, all that good stuff. You've heard this about Silent Hill 2 before. This was at a GameStop for like $100 flat, and it had the original case and it has a disc. Unfortunately, there's no manual in here, but that's still not a terrible deal for this game. So I actually walked into GameStop, looked at this for a long time. I was thinking about it, and then I went and ate a slice of pizza, and I was like, okay, I can't leave the mall without this. So I ended up buying it. I don't regret the purchase whatsoever, especially now that I finally have a PS2 to play it on. This is just excellent. So highly recommend Silent Hill 2 again. I've just sung its praises, but great, great game. And so then this funny thing happened to me. I actually had a friend approach me. He said, I got this for a really good price. I'm looking to trade it. And I was like, okay, well, what are you looking for? And he said, oh, well, I want a DS. And I had an extra 2DS, and I have a video, or it's a short up on my channel, talking about getting this 2DS off of Facebook Marketplace. And so we ended up trading, and I got a Sega Dreamcast. This seems pretty out of left field, but I was really, really happy to get this. Obviously, he was too. We both kind of made out well on the deal, getting things that we want. I had a Dreamcast when I was collecting for a very brief period. I think I might have been 12 or 13, and I was collecting games. And eventually, once I got into high school, I sold them all off. But the one thing I've always regretted selling was my Dreamcast and my Dreamcast collection, which had some really great games, Sonic Adventure 2, Crazy Taxi. It was a very small collection, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I played a ton of it. So I'm happy to get a Dreamcast back, and inside is Madden NFL 2K, which is actually a game I played a lot back in the day, and it got me into football. It helped get me into football. So I did grab another copy of this game. It was like really cheap. Great game too. Great sports game. It really is fun. It's arcadey. Doesn't take itself too seriously. I think that's an issue with sports games now. And then the other game I got, which is actually in the NFL case because it was loose, is Monaco Grand Prix, which I played for a couple minutes, and it's fine, but Dreamcast, cool. Moving right along, Assassin's Creed The Rebel Collection, and I have no idea how this happened. It has this full game download sticker on top, or the banner. It's in there, and I thought that was really kind of strange when I got it. Like, how does that even happen? I have no idea how this full game download ended up with a cart. Maybe the game store pieced it together. I don't know. But it doesn't really bother me too much. It looks fine on the side and the shelf where it usually lives. So I've never played Rogue, but Black Flag is one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games, and there's not many of them because I really don't like the series all that much, but I really did like Black Flag when I played it on 360. I think this is pretty much just the 360 version. Not the best way to play it, but it is the only handheld way to play it without like a Steam Deck or whatever. Really like Black Flag. Maybe I'll play Rogue, but I definitely want to go replay Black Flag. So that's why I got this. It was only $12, so not too bad. Dark Souls 2. This is kind of the lesser Dark Souls, but 15 wasn't bad for it, and I got this from a really small antique store that just opened up in my hometown, so I wanted to support. I want to get all of these Dark Souls games, but this is probably the one I will play last. I still need to get through Bloodborne. Let me know, guys, what's your favorite Souls game? Because I kind of go back and forth. I know Bloodborne is like kind of the fan favorite, but I really liked Sekiro, if you want to count that as a Soulsborne game. Otherwise, I would say Dark Souls 3. I really enjoyed Dark Souls 3. I thought that game was excellent. Excellent stuff. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar on the Switch. This one is complete on cart, which is very nice. It wasn't for me, this was for my wife. She really wanted to play this. She loves farming games and has played pretty much all of them under the sun. But I do have to give credit to Marvelous. They have been putting in great effort on the Switch too. You can see complete on cart, comes with a actually really hefty manual. This feels, it's heavy. And that's something we don't get with games anymore, is like you get it and it's like, wow, that feels really good. There's like a premium package in there. I don't know, this is like the most collector thing ever to say, like, I like my games with some heft to them, but it's true. Like, this feels good in the hand. It feels like I got my money's worth. You don't really get that much, especially now because you don't even get a game on a cartridge, so whatever. Apparently this game is really good. My wife likes it a lot. I haven't played it, maybe one day. Silent Hill F. I was really excited for this and I bought it day one. And I think I would give this game a strong 7 out of 10. I don't think it's a masterpiece, and there are things about it that I have serious issues with. The combat isn't really even one of them. It gets a little stale by the end of the game, but mechanically it's fine. My biggest problem with this game is that you need to play through it more than once. And that's not really even like a Silent Hill, like out of the ordinary thing. Like there are Silent Hill games where you need to play through them more than once to get different endings and different unlocks and things like that. But like this game requires multiple playthroughs. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you get the bare minimum of the story through the first playthrough, and then after that you pretty much unlock everything else and all the cutscenes change and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff in here that's just not available on the first playthrough, and that kind of bugs me. It's just not how I play games. I don't really replay games a ton, just straight up. So that was one big annoyance for me. There are some other things here and there. The other world in this game isn't my cup of tea. I'm not going to insult the game. I'm not going to say that it's bad. It's just not my favorite. It just didn't jive with me. And that's perfectly fine. Not every game is going to be a perfect fit. But overall, I did think Silent Hill F was a good entry in the series. I had fun with it. I will probably go through again at some point because they did actually make the New Game Plus a little shorter. You can skip some big things. So that is cool. I do appreciate that. And this game is just getting a lot of love. And I like to see Silent Hill getting some support. And this is definitely doing it. Castlevania Dominance Collection. So I used my Game Eye to assemble this video and kind of get everything in somewhat of chronological order. I don't know, I don't think I got this recently, but it was added to my Game Eye. So I played a little bit of Dawn of Sorrow and I liked it. These games were all really cheap thrift finds. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, Uncharted 4, and Watch Dogs 2. I have played Uncharted 1 and 2, and then I never played the rest of the Uncharted games. Uncharted 2 is amazing, Uncharted 1 is good. And I never played Watch Dogs 2, actually. People have kind of come back around on this game. Some people really like it. I played the first game, never played this one, so worth a shot. I was really excited for this game to come out, and so was my wife, so we got 2 copies of it. Pac-Man World 2 Repack. Loved this game growing up, super nostalgic, and yeah, it's just as good as I remembered it. It's not a perfect platformer. It's definitely still a product of its time, but they did a really good job kind of bringing this game back up to modern standards, and I really enjoyed it. It was like short, 4 hours. Pretty good romp through for $30, $20 now on Black Friday. Like this is a good buy. I would say my only problem with this game is some of the bosses. I know they completely redid all the boss fights. Some of them are not my favorite. The last boss especially was super frustrating, and the boss before that, which was like a music themed boss, was actually, it was a really creative idea, but again, it was just kind of hard. My problem with the bosses is that you don't get a ton of opportunities to heal yourself, and you have to go through several phases of the boss to beat it, and there's no checkpoint in between, so it can be a little tough sometimes. I think there actually is like a steep difficulty curve when it comes to some of these bosses. But otherwise, I really liked Pac-Man World 2, and for $30, $20 now on Black Friday, this is a great deal. Not to mention, there's an entirely separate campaign at the end of the game. A little bit of a bigger one now, Resident Evil Director's Cut on PS1. Previously, the only version of RE1 I had was the Saturn version, which was a Japanese import, so I didn't even have a way to play this game in English. So this is the best version of the game to get. This is the Director's Cut, not the DualShock edition with the horrible music. And it is very clean. You can see inside, has the manual, has the original disc, which is like really nice. And it also has the Resident Evil 2 demo disc, and if you haven't seen this demo before, it is different than the original game. You go a different way to the police station. It's kind of an interesting experience. It certainly threw me for a loop. I didn't know that it was actually all that different. Instead of going in the traditional way that you go to the police station, it's actually more of a straight shot there. It's pretty short, but it's all things that never made it into the final game, so definitely really cool. I know that kind of jumps the value up on this one a little bit. I paid like 70-ish bucks for it, which I kind of got a little bit convinced sold at the store, but I don't regret buying it. It is really nice. It didn't come so nice. This was kind of in a beat up case, and I ended up swapping it out for something that's a little bit nicer, but overall, very happy with this, and I will get a playthrough in once again. I've only ever played the Jill campaign in this game, so need to get through Chris. The Evil Within 2, keeping in survival horror. I was on a survival horror kick in October. Wow, crazy idea. But this game looks really cool. I would rather play the first one first. A lot of people have differing opinions on which one's better, but I will keep this one and then get the first one and then play through both of them, and then I will update you. Soul Calibur 4. This one and The Evil Within and the next two games were all part of a buy for like $40 at GameStop, so I got these all for 10 bucks each. Soul Calibur 4, this game is great. I played a ton of this game on 360 as a kid, and I had Yoda. I've never played the Darth Vader version, so interested to see how he plays. I haven't played this game in a really long time, but I played so much of it when I was young, so it might come back to me. We'll see. Bionic Commando on PS3. This game has a pretty bad rap. Let me be clear, this game is stupid. It's pretty dumb. The story is ridiculous. It has one of the worst plot twists in any game ever. Capcom was in a pretty bad rut at this point in time, but I still defend this game as being really fun. I will go down with the ship on this one. I think Bionic Commando is like this kind of pseudo Spider-Man game. You just swing around and shoot things. It's not a great game by any means. I think it's like a 6 out of 10, like fair and critically. However, I just had a ton of fun with it. It's just a guilty pleasure game for me, and so I needed to find it, and I did, and it's a really nice complete copy with the Dark Void insert here. You can see that's just how bad Capcom was at the time that they were advertising Dark Void, which is a awful, awful game. But yeah, not too bad for 10 bucks or something from GameStop. I actually have the receipt here. It's $7.59. Maybe this wasn't in the buy 4 get 10 or whatever. But yeah, this game, I do like it. Two more from that same GameStop run, Super Bubble Pop and NBA Live 97. This one is super weird. It's very, very uncommon you find a complete Sega Saturn game at GameStop, and this was priced under $10. I know it's probably not worth a ton of money, but when you see a nice Sega Saturn case like this, you should probably just grab it. Honestly, these cases are super hard to come by in really nice condition. And yeah, this game is not bad. Comes with all of the inserts. It doesn't have the foam, but it's all in there. I do like collecting Sega Saturn, although I have said in my video, my collecting tips video, it's just not a console really with a library for me. However, I love the look of these American cases. They look great on the shelf. So for less than $10, this one is going to add to that library. And if you really want to fill out a shelf with these things, you could just get a bunch of cheap sports games, which is kind of what my collection is right now. Otherwise, if you want really good Sega Saturn heavy hitters, you're going to pay astronomical prices. So I will stick to these sports games right now. The other one is Super Bubble Pop. I actually think this game looks very interesting. It's kind of fillery, yes, but I do want it for the GameCube collection, and I love adding games to the GameCube collection. I haven't tried it out yet, but I do need to pop it in soon. All right, continuing along, we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. This was $10 on clearance at Target, so I picked it up. The wife wanted this one. Shadow Labyrinth on Nintendo Switch. Okay, so my buddy Switch Addiction said in his last video about a backlog that your backlog is like a buffet, and you should be allowed to taste your food and decide if you want to finish it or not. This was a game I wanted to taste. I wanted to try it, and I do not like it. For some reason, it was just so weird to me to see this like dark, gritty Pac-Man Metroidvania. It looked appealing. I tried it. I don't like it. So be it. More Target clearance. Split Fiction. This is a code in a box, which I'm not happy about. But for $25, it's one to play with the wife. We did enjoy It Takes Two, so picked this game up, but haven't played it yet because it's still sealed. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I bought this at the same time as Split Fiction. This was on clearance for $25. I had a $5 coupon, so it was like 20 bucks for this game. Wanted to add it to the Complete on Cart Switch collection, and you know, I have a feeling Complete on Cart Switch games will retain their value better than game key cards and whatnot. I don't love buying key cards, but I'm also not against them. If I want to play the game, I want to play the game. But happy to have this. I did play it for a couple hours. It's not an amazing time. It's not my cup of tea per se, but I did enjoy the game for what it's worth. It's like a farming town RPG. It kind of does a lot of things. It stirs a lot of pots, but it doesn't really make a great soup anywhere else. Like, it doesn't make this exceptional product. It's a fine game. It's fine. Another game I think is just fine is Pokemon Legends ZA. I hold this game is really fun, and it's a good time, and it's probably worth your money if you like Pokemon, but this series needs to be held to a higher standard. It is really rough around the edges. There are some things that are just not acceptable in this game. I know it's also on Switch 1. It was developed for Switch 1. That's why it just kind of looks pretty and runs really well on Switch 2, is because it's just an upscaled Switch 1 game. But really, I mean, Pokemon needs to take a step back, look in the mirror, and think like, we are one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time. The games need to be a little bit better than this. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. This was $5, and I bought it before getting on a cruise ship. Battlefield 6. I really like this game. A lot of my friends were asking me to play it. I pretty much exclusively play it multiplayer, and it's fun. It's a Battlefield game. If you like Battlefield games, you're going to like Battlefield 6. I don't think it's better than 4. I don't think it's better than 1, but it's fine. We haven't had a new one of these games in several years. I don't want to think about the last one. I really don't want to think about the last one. The last Battlefield game we got was 5, right? System Shock. My best friend was selling a bunch of games to GameStop, and this is one of them, and so I usually tend to offer him $1 more than they will give him in trade credit, and he'll give me the game. This was one of those instances. Unfortunately, they announced the Switch 2 version with a full, complete cartridge one day after I bought this. So, whatever. I am looking forward to play this game. I love classic first-person shooters. Silent Hill 3, I have a whole video on this, so I'm not going to go into huge detail.
Quick sidebar, I want to talk about Silent Hill 1 because I just beat it and this is a perfect time to do it. Really quick, Silent Hill 1 is an insanely impressive PS1 game. It's maybe one of the most impressive games for the technology I've ever seen. I heavily enjoyed this game from front to back. I thought it was fantastic. I don't think it's as good as the second game, and I think that's just because I like the plot of the second game better. The first one's a little bit more traditional, but still really deep. There are some scenes in this game that are gut-wrenching, and one of the most impressive games, again, I've ever played. A PS1, I guess I must not have played a ton of PS1 games because I didn't know that they could be this good. Wow, I loved this game. Just needed to come in here and sing its praises once again. If you haven't played Silent Hill, get a PS3 and get the PS1 Classics version. It's $6. It's cheaper than buying a physical copy, or just emulate it.
Golden Nugget Casino on PS1. You can see this case. This is what Resident Evil originally came in, and this was the game I got to replace it. It barely closes. It's all cracked and broken. So I do like casino games. I tend to play table games responsibly, but when I want to feel like a big shot, I'll throw in like a casino game and bet it all and then lose it all. I've literally bet $2,000 of virtual currency on one hand of blackjack in this game and lost it all. So bet responsibly and bet on the PS1 instead of in real life. Skydiving Extreme. I know I've said in my tips video for collecting, don't buy filler. This is definitely filler material, but it's also sealed. It's sealed at the top, and it's actually a rhythm game. I didn't realize this about this game, is that it's actually a rhythm game, and it's kind of interesting. So maybe one day I will crack this open. Probably soon, honestly. It's not anything that I'm going to spend a ton of time with, but for $5, like, why not? Also, super random, but my favorite part about collecting PlayStation games are these labels at the top. Like when they're sealed or if they're just left on there from somebody who opened them and didn't take them off. I love these things. I think they look great. Super nostalgic looking. Twisted Metal 3. I've never played a Twisted Metal game at all, but my friend Matt really loves Twisted Metal, and so I bought this to try it, and then I could talk about it with him. And so then I bought a PS2, which I'm not going to get because it's all set up in my living room, but I ended up making what I think was a pretty poor decision, and I bought out a friend's PS2 collection, and I paid like 200 some bucks for it. It was like $220, and I got these games. These are all the games that I am keeping from that collection. The rest I am going to sell and trade. I'll probably be like 80 bucks in the hole or something. So 80 bucks for all of these games. Still really not that bad. I don't think I did bad. I don't regret it. Obviously you want to make back as much as you can when you're like kind of doing that whole collection buyout thing, but still not too unhappy with this haul. When I think of like this era of 3D platformers, The Hobbit always comes to mind, although I've never actually played it. Next up is Sky Odyssey. I've never actually played this game before. I don't know anything about it, but it looks interesting and the case is really clean. Bully. I have never played this game, but it looks pretty good. I know that it's like, oh, Bully looks pretty good. It's a classic game, but I've really never played this game or spent that much time looking into it. So maybe I'll give this one a try. I know there are other versions of this game that are better on like 360. I don't know if there's a PS3 version. I think there is. But PS2, I have it here. Might as well give it a shot. Terminator 3, I just think this looks really cool. This is cool box art. ESPN 2K5, this was a gift from my friend Matt, as I had just mentioned before. Unfortunately, this disc needs to be resurfaced. He also got me this copy of Medal of Honor Rising Sun, but I already have this on GameCube. Capcom Classics Collection Volume 1. This has a few interesting games on it. Some of them I don't have access to, So I'm going to keep this one around, like Final Fight's on here, Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins, the 1940 games. It's pretty cool. Not a bad collection, so I think I'm going to keep this one around. Driver 3. I played this game a ton when I was a kid. I couldn't play GTA because my parents wouldn't let me, but for some reason they let us play Driver 3. Really nostalgic game, but this has aged very poorly, so better left to my memory. Wheel of Fortune. It's Wheel of Fortune. The big get of the lot, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This box art has definitely seen better days, but opening it up, it's in there. And for what ended up amounting to $5 paid for the game, not bad. I know this isn't an amazing version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 by any means, but this is the one I grew up on. I rented this all the time from Hollywood Video. Comment below if you remember Hollywood Video and these rental stores. But I played a ton of this game as a kid. I would use the most out of my 5 days to play as much Spider-Man on this game as possible. And I remember not knowing anything about the game, even though I would rent it all the time. So good to finally have it. It's a cool one for the collection. Obviously, there's better ways to play this game, but I really like having this one. This is a personal, nostalgic piece for me, so that made the whole collection buy worth it. Follow that up, we have Madden 07, which is Madden 07. Spider-Man 2, another really nostalgic game for me, and one that is very good. It still plays great. Unfortunately, I played about 10 minutes of this game, was having a great time, and then I realized it was going crazy on me, and it was all over the place. The audio was skipping and stopping, and yeah, it's in pretty rough shape, so I do need to get this resurfaced, but other than that, everything else is clean in here, so that's a pretty quick fix. And lastly, we have SeaWorld Adventure Park, Shamu's Deep Sea Adventures. Shout out RJC, it's the only reason I'm keeping this game. And down to the last 3 games here, and that's just because I got these games within the last 2 days. Kirby Air Riders, I have played this game a little bit, but it's a ton of fun. I think they did a great job updating Air Ride for the modern audience, and this plays really well. City Trial is a lot of fun, and just the races, I'm finally getting it. I don't think I really got the racing in the first game, but it makes a lot of sense here. I have been sinking my life into Hades 2 over the last couple days. I know I had a few videos where I was trying to find the first Hades. I never found it, but it's almost a blessing in disguise because I wouldn't have been sick of this game when it finally hit the physical copy. A lot of goodies in here. I'll cover the code for the original soundtrack, but there's also like a bifold poster and some nice back art in there. Shout out to Supergiant for making a nice complete on cartridge release. If you do want this game on Switch 1, you buy this, it will work on your Switch 1. Great time. I'm having a ton of fun playing Hades 2. Let me know, what weapon do you like to use the most? I'm a fan of the axe. That is the one I've been doing the best with. But tell me, which are you using? What do you prefer? And some tips for this game, I could use them. And finally, Madden. I do like football games. I have this game on PlayStation. But I ended up getting this for $15 on DoorDash because of some weird promos. I got this game delivered to my house at 9:30 at night for $15, so why not? Something I want to start doing in these pickup videos as well is not only talk about the games that I'm adding to my collection, but also the ones that I'm selling or curating, I guess is the more sterile term for it. But I do think it's important, and I said this in my collecting tips video as well, that you should be cycling your collection out. It's good to sell. Don't hoard everything. And if there's games you're just not going to get to or you're not interested in, or if you think that just the funds are going to be better put to something else that you want, then sell your games. So with that, I have Horizon Zero Dawn. I already have this version. This is a greatest hits version, so obviously I'm going to get rid of this one. But this is not too valuable, but I just have an extra, so. Lego Brawls. I think this was $5 on Walmart's website. I bought it, have never opened it, never played it, have no intention of playing it, so it's going to go and save some space. Monster Hunter Rise. I tried with this game. I really did. I tried to get into Monster Hunter. I bought this earlier in this year because I was thinking about getting Wilds, but I was like, no, let me try the Monster Hunter games out. They're just not for me. Omori on Switch. I'm kind of on the fence about this one, but I did get this for free at GameStop, and it's not a game I'm too interested in playing. It seems kind of sad, which I don't really want to be sad when I'm playing games. I heard it's excellent. I'm not judging the game whatsoever, but it is going on the sell pile for now. I've already said I was going to sell it once and didn't sell it, so we'll see if it actually survives this latest round of curation. And the big title of all these is Jade Cocoon on PS1. I don't want to sell this too much, however, just because it looks nice, but it is worth a decent amount, and there's a bunch of games I'm trying to get. I'm trying to complete the Silent Hill collection. I need Silent Hill 1 and I need Silent Hill 4. This game is worth a decent amount complete. I only paid about $30 for it from GameStop, so that will help me get to this goal of getting the Silent Hill collection, and so I will probably end up parting with this game. I'm going to be going to a game convention in December. It is the Festival of Games on Long Island. I'm really excited for that, and I need a little bit of extra cash to bring to that, so this is probably one game. Maybe I might even bring it there and try and trade it. We'll see, but Jade Cocoon, this is a pretty good game. Beautiful game, Studio Ghibli art style. It's kind of like a monster collecting game. It's almost like a Pokemon. Also not my favorite genre of RPGs ever. So I am gonna let this one go and use it for greener grass in the future. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what was your favorite pickup that you saw here, and have a good one. I know it's holiday time right now. It's very busy. It's very crazy. But take a moment to slow down, play some games, enjoy the time with your family, and I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys.